you're the best. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
You've worked with several great brands, Unacademy, Cred, Shebang, Disney, Hotstar, all of that. Two questions on that front. Okay, hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to Mental Fitness with Neha, the workout for your mind. Ayush Wadhwa is the founder and creative director at Out Media, and he's also a content creator on YouTube, Instagram, and has his own podcast. Lots to learn in this episode, and let's get straight into the questions. First up, I find it really fascinating to understand how people get into their line of work and what they do, because I think like what you do is brings a huge part of fulfillment to your life. So, you pursued mechanical engineering first, and from there now you're a filmmaker, I mean, a storyteller, as you would say. So, what's your story from engineering to films?
so content started way before engineering came into my life. So I've done masters of chemistry and bachelors in mechanical engineering from BITS Pilani. But content came into my life when I was about 13 years old. So started making YouTube videos, learned web development, learned SEO, made a couple of blogs. The idea was to make money. So that's what got me into content. Um, I still sometimes feel like I didn't choose content, content chose me, which is like a very cliche and you know quite a filmy thing to say. But so that's what happened. I was 13 years old, been doing this for almost 10 years now. And yeah, I mean, took a couple of breaks here and there. This is not my first company either, Raul. So I started a bunch of them before settling down into out and figuring out, okay, this is how we want to position the company and what we want to do. But that's how we started. And the change from engineering, the transition from engineering was also fairly natural. Like I joined BIT, so I got into a couple of IITs, I got into most colleges in our country. But the reason for choosing BITS was very specific, is because I knew it would give me the freedom that possibly no other college can give me, at least in that strata. So yeah, that's what made me choose BITS, and I always knew कि कुछ ना कुछ अपना ही करना है, just didn't know when. So that
Okay.
when happened quite naturally. I didn't plan it out. Yeah.
Okay, so a very natural transition. Like you didn't plan yourself as where you are today.
You can plan a direction, you can never plan the path. Like, at
True,
least
true.
that's what
Yeah,
I feel.
that makes
So
sense. Yeah. So in my research for doing this interview, I also came across this mission that you have on a quest to make better films every day. So what is the importance of having this mission statement, and does it drive you in any way? This statement.
it does. It also trickles down to our operational principles in the company, which is the only
Mhm.
KPI that matters is, have you grown as an individual in the company? Is the company growing in terms of the products and designs and videos and whatever we are shipping, right?
Yeah.
Since there are multiple verticals in the company shipping so many creators every single day. The only KPI is at the core as an operational mammoth that we have become, so many things happening at the same time. Is there progress and improvement happening on all fronts? So yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, it definitely helps us a lot, and I'm a big believer of bit by bit improvement rather than
Mhm.
this one stage will come where
Yeah.
you'll go from 1 to 100. I think it's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it goes on. Um, so yeah, that's what we do in the company as well, and it drives me a lot that
Mhm.
step by step improvement can compound so fast that you can't even possibly imagine कि कहाँ से शुरू करा था और कहाँ पे आ गया.
Yeah. Nice. So you also found your love for content creation and technology at a very young age, if I'm right. And you made your first video like when in your early teens and stuff. So this process of finding what you love for someone who's, let's say, 19, 20, they don't know how to start. What kind of advice would you give them?
To young teens,
Yeah.
have fun. Don't do this. Don't do what I did. Just have fun.
Okay.
Um, I mean, that's not the age when I feel you should be figuring out your career path. Um, I think I didn't start it because I wanted to figure out my career path, right? It
Mm.
looks like that कि मैंने करा होगा ऐसे only because it all added up. But I think it was a big coincidence. It won't add up for most people. Could add it could add up for some of them, but not most of them. So instead of finding, yo, this is what I want to do in life, try out different things. And even I tried out a bunch of things. I was really bad at sports, and I got to know that I'm bad at sports after playing almost every single sports that I had around me. Right? I mean, I've grown up in a I grew up in a small town, so it's not like I had access to all the sports. But sometimes I do feel that if I was born somewhere else, if I had different surroundings around me, I may not be doing this. So don't think a lot. Just do what you feel like. If you feel like sketching one day, sketch one day. If you feel like singing the other day, please sing the other day. But if you do find that this is one thing that is naturally coming to you, you're enjoying a lot, and you feel like learning more, do go hard on that.
Okay. So explore, and once you find, go hard. But at the same time, don't take it seriously. I mean, that seriously. Yeah.
Long term, there's this
Mm.
thing called a T structure that I follow, and I also ask everybody in the team to follow this. It may not resonate with everybody, but it resonates with me a lot. Is that be a specialist in one thing and always be a generalist. Like, I don't
Mm.
think just being a specialist works in today's day and age. So
Yeah.
know a bunch of things. If you are into filmmaking, if you are a director, so director is a bad example because a director is like as
Yeah. A
part of their
generalist.
job needs to know everything. But let's say you are a backend developer, right? Make sure you go really deep into that. Or let's say you are a graphic designer, go really deep into graphic designing, but learn a bit of sound, learn a bit of video, learn a bit of storytelling. Because when you combine all of these together, your graphics in general, like the quality
Yeah, for
increases.
sure.
The thing is, people don't realize it directly. Like, how come like music and editing and all these storytelling can help me make better graphics? The fact is it does, because at the end of the day, it's a visual medium, and even if you move from a graphic to a GIF, or even if you want to make that shift ever, it'll be so smooth, and you'll be able to make that shift faster than any other graphic designer.
Yeah.
There's this very interesting quote, which is, if you want to be good at filmmaking, don't study films, study things around you.
Mm.
Films are not made on how to make films. Films are made on
Yeah.
other people, real stories, your friendships, relationships, yeah, whatnot. So yeah, just this T structure is something which I genuinely
Makes
love.
sense. Yeah, what you're saying also reminds me of this thing that you can only join the dots backwards. Like nothing goes wasted. Like you do something today, 10 years on the line that you come use and you don't know how, but you can see it only later. Yeah, love that. Okay, another question. So, as a storyteller, what is, we all tell stories to ourselves. Like in our head, there's a mental monologue. So what is the importance of the story you tell yourself?
It is uh, it's so important for somebody who's gone through tons and tons of self-doubt.
Yeah.
I think it's very important. It's very important. The story you tell yourself is it's very strong and powerful. Um, so I think I'm going to give a slightly different answer to this. I'm not going to directly answer this, but whenever you're keeping a goal, keep a goal that is bigger than you, and keep a goal that is selfless. Don't think about about just yourself when you're thinking of your goal, and you'll always tell yourself a bigger story than yourself. um, and when you do that, it really helps. So, yeah, I mean, I don't like I think manifestation like also works a lot, but more than that, just treating yourself right and understanding your strengths and weaknesses and where you need to improve and where you need to do and move forward
Hmm.
really helps.
Yeah. Right, makes sense. So, you do a lot in the sense that, like, as you said, you could have gone down the entire filmmaker path. You're also a content creator. You also mentioned somewhere that you like writing. So, you're pretty, like, multifaceted in that sense. So, why out? Like, what made you stop at that?
I think it was the most natural transition, to be very honest. Now, all the things that I know, 70 to 80% of them coincide to one term, which is content,
Hmm.
right? Content is a written piece of material to the video that you see on YouTube. This podcast is a piece of content
Yeah.
to a graphical static post that you're going to see on Instagram after this podcast. Whatever I knew that all of this points to this one term. And as an entrepreneur, knowing all these things um, really helps. So I knew if I start a media company, the founder market fit is going to be absolutely insane, and that is extremely important. If as a company, there are two things which companies are always looking for, and investors are always looking for. A, it's founder market fit, whether the founder is the right person to be running this company, and then there is product market fit, which is what the company is making. Does this fit the needs of the consumers?
Yeah.
And PMF we always had because we were a service company in a business that has so much demand, it's crazy. And founder market fit is something which I knew I had because I've been doing this for the last 10 years. I was like, there's no better medium where I can spend more of my time. So yes, I come off as a polymath, but it is primarily in the same ecosystem, at least most of it, if not 100% of it, at least 70 to 80% of it. So I realized that there's not going to be a better founder market fit for me in any other sector, at least right now. But now I'm realizing in the last 1 year, I've now learned a lot more things as well. So I can always see myself running and building other companies. But right now, content is something which I'm truly excited about. And
Yeah.
yeah, I want to build.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so you do a lot in the sense that you are obviously the founder of Owl. You are a content creator. You make stuff on YouTube, Instagram, everything. So what drives you? Because to be able to do things and in a sustainable pace and rate, you need to have some fuel inside you. So what is the thing that drives you? Is there a thing that drives
I think just the urge to do something which is bigger than all of us,
you?
to build that mammoth of a content factory, it really inspires me.
Okay.
Second, I love creating an impact. I love when we are able to create impact in somebody's life. And as like right now, what we're doing, when we see a client who's what they wanted and we deliver, and that delivered product then leads and goes to millions and billions of people,
Yeah.
and then that creates an impact in their lives. It is crazy to see this happen and be part of this entire supply chain. So yeah, I mean, just experiencing this impact is addictive, and I love that, and the team loves it. So yeah, there are multiple factors that drive me as an individual to work, but definitely these two are some of the core ones.
Okay, got it. And talking about you said having self-doubt, and anyone I think who creates content has a certain amount of self-doubt that constantly goes on in their head, at least in the initial part of their journey. So did you face that, and in terms of overcoming that, how did you overcome
I think for me, it's an everyday journey.
it?
I've become more secure about myself in the last couple of years for sure. So I think I've crossed the threshold level, but I think you need to remind yourself every now and then that uh, what you're doing is worth it. And of course, like it's very slippery slope. You can get into and be very complacent if you keep telling yourself you're the best. You can't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like do that. But I think you need a reminder that you're on the right track, and also like reflect and reevaluate whether you are actually on the right track or not. But I think conquering self doubt is part getting over that threshold of being very very comfortable with your own self, and then be reminding yourself again and again. Now, of course, I'm not like a mental health expert or somebody who can give you
yeah,
like a specific answer, but at
yeah.
least this is what helped me. I'm not sure if this will help anybody else or not, but that's how I was able to be a little more confident in my own skin.
Yeah, makes sense. No, I think it's very unique to every person. Like, there's no general advice, but it's your
Right.
own journey.
I'm not in a
Um,
position to give any advice either, but
you've worked with several great brands as well. From Owl in terms of Unacademy, Cred, Shebang, Disney Plus, Hotstar, all of that. So, two questions on that front. Firstly, how do you get yourself in such positions? And secondly, what is like, being surrounded by such an inspired cohort by an inspired clientele, like people who are doing great things? What is one lesson you've probably learned from that?
I'll give a combined answer. In general, if you
Yes.
help people in life, you'll get anywhere you want to. So make sure तुम्हारे फंडे क्लियर हैं बेसिक्स कि क्यों चाहिए
Hmm.
बड़े क्लाइंट. I think 90% people will be like, yo, मतलब बस चाहिए. It's not about like a big client or a small client. It's not about big money or big check or a small check. It's about impact that you create by helping others. If you can genuinely add value into somebody's life,
Mhm.
whether that's a small client, whether that's an individual, whether that's a big client, you will win the game because you are genuinely adding value. And to add value, you need to be a skilled person. You have to have the right tools. So to get there is a you have to first build a skill set, have the right tools. Then you have to build trust because society works on trust. Now, trust works in two ways. A if I already have a lot of proof of work to show, then of course there's trust. Second way you build trust is when you show proof of work. Proof
Yeah.
of work can be shown as A, your past work, or the work that I do for you. Manlo, I don't have any work on my hands, but I tell you, Neha, I can edit your podcast really, really well. Let me do one episode for free. If you like it, you can pay me from the second one. So now I didn't have anything in the past, but like, oh, okay, let's give him a shot. So you give me the podcast to edit, I kill it. Now there is active proof of work, which is
Yeah.
exchanged between the two of us. So yeah, that's how you get any client, or the lesson you learn is just keep consistently adding value into people's life, and it will compound and give you some massive results if you keep doing that.
Yeah, love that answer. Yeah. Okay. And in terms of, so the show is about mental fitness and keeping, yourself mentally fit. So
Mhm.
do you do anything to keep yourself mentally fit and any such habits?
Oh, the last 2 months, no, but
Okay.
I think mental and physical fitness are related to each other.
Yeah.
I try to work out. That makes my mood feel better. So I'm gonna change the question a little bit. I don't know about mental fitness, but I'm just gonna say things that make me feel nice and make
Yeah.
me slightly more fitter. So having good food, and I realized कि, okay, I don't like bahar ka khana. Although my friends are going to be watching this, if they discover this, they're going to just write a big liar in the comment section, because the last 2 months have been really bad since I've been traveling a lot. But in an
Yeah.
ideal situation where I'm home, I love basic food. It brings me a lot of happiness. I love talking to my friends. I love working out, not extensively, but I love cycling, a little bit here and there, although I would love to sort of get into like extensive workouts. So yeah, I think these 3 4 things I do, just taking some time off, making sure that I reflect, making sure that I don't like don't keep on firefighting every single day, which I actually tend to do a lot. But I think actively trying to take a step back and look at my life from a third person's point of view, whether what I'm doing is the right thing or not. So these smaller things which make my mood better, lighter, helps me detach from work, are something that I love to do.
Sorry, that was actually my next question, because so there's this segment on the show called The Happy Place, where I ask people, whenever you feel emotionally low, what is the one thing that lights you up? But I think you
Friends,
would go back to the same answer, right?
friends, family. We have
Yeah,
a family group. I
simple.
just get like a video call and talk to them, play with my dog, chill with him, talk to my friends. I think yeah, that this is my happy place. If nobody's there, then watching a nice TV show, movie that I absolutely love rewatching it. Love going on walks. Absolutely love walking and cycling. There are two things which I absolutely love. Going on like a long drive, good music, like all these things. Bunch of things, whichever one's available and accessible at that point, something which I do.
Okay, so coming to the last question, if so I call it a mental fitness tip. So let's consider that all your life experiences have taught you one thing. What is one mental fitness tip that you live by?
I don't think I'm in a position to give a mental fitness tip.
One
Um,
truth you live by.
Truth, I can tell you a business truth that is really,
Okay.
or rather like a something which also trickles down to your personal life, is asking. Just ask. Today we are recording this because you asked me, can we record the episode? So I think people just don't ask. I always propagate the idea of just ask. You know, things happen. Just ask.
So very, yeah, it's simple, but it's very impactful. Love that. Okay, so before we let you go, and thank you so much for being on the show, where can our listeners find you and, hear more of you?
So thank you so much, Nia, for inviting me on the show. Guys, you can follow me on Instagram and YouTube. And even I try to host a podcast sometimes, so you can go and listen to that. That we try to add a lot of value in creators, upcoming entrepreneurs, and college students' life. In general, you can find my company's work at owlmedia.com. And yeah, hope to see you somewhere.
Yes. I will link all of your socials and all of your podcasts and everything in the thing below. And yeah, once again, thank you so much for your time. It was amazing to talk to you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nia.